welcome to the last show on Televida. This is the last show. My first guest, Rod Reyes. How are you, Rod?
I'm doing just great, and it's an honor to be the first guest on the last show.
That's right. I don't know how that goes. The last guest on the first show, first guest on the last show?
Well, it's a lot better to be the first guest on the last show than the last guest on the first show.
Well, look at this backdrop. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
My God.
I actually used to work at AMC theaters up there when I was a little kid.
Did you
AMC
really?
Theater. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That must have been a strong projector.
Yes, I did.
Where are the screens?
Well, hey, what I want to ask you about is that, I guess everybody thinks I'm mixed. They always say, Elliot, what are you? Black, white, Hispanic, whatever. So you're the first guy. I'm going to ask you, well, what are you, Rod? What are you?
Well, what I am is a matter of where you're standing. All right. My heritage is Puerto Rican and Venezuelan, but I was born in New York City to parents who were born in New York City. So every Puerto Rican that I've ever met from Puerto Rico calls me a gringo. That's it. You are not potorro. You are not. And the Venezuelans in my family, the only time they ever bring it up is when they see me on television and I say I'm Puerto Rican, and then they text me, "Don't forget your Venezuelan."
Don't you forget your Venezuelan.
So I'm a product of a mixed marriage, but there's a bit of a stereotype.
What stereotype is that?
Well, here's the deal: Latinos are really one of the most stereotyped people in the world because we have such a wide variety of countries and locations in which we're concentrated, but doesn't matter. You could be from Cuba. You could be from Mexico. You could be from Guatemala. You could be from Argentina. If you are in New York City, you're a lousy Puerto Rican. Now, you take the same bunch over to California.
Okay.
And you could be from El Salvador. You could be from Colombia. You could be from the Dominican Republic. And it's all like, orale, ese. So, it depends on where you are and who's looking.
Well, didn't you say that some people, not me, of course, some people actually think they speak different languages in all the South American countries?
I did say that. I worked with a guy who thought that every country in South America had their own language.
Really?
Yeah, and I asked him, like, really, what do you think they speak in Chile? And he said, Chile language.
Chile language. That'd be something on the baby back ribs. Baby back ribs, maybe shrinking mushrooms and shrooms and all that other kind of stuff.
Chile language dog.
Chile language. Well, we are both stand-up comedians. How appropriate that are on this great set that Televida did for us. I feel like I'm actually on Letterman and Colbert right now, right?
Right.
It's kind of neat. So I've been a comic for, almost 40 years. What about yourself?
I started after you, even though I'm older. So I've been doing this about 32 years.
The one thing I didn't do, we're both veterans. We're both veterans of stand-up.
Absolutely.
Old, crusty veterans there. Enough that I could slap you in the face and you wouldn't move at all. you would take it like Chris Rock. You wouldn't move at all. Slap me. We should have a slapping contest just so you can do the best Will Smith of us.
Oh my God!
Can you believe that?
It was pretty wild. But full disclosure, I used to run an open mic in New York City, and there's a comic, really very, very funny guy named Ian Edwards, a Jamaican. And this was in the old Boston Comedy Club in New York City. Boston Comedy Club in New York City. But he was on stage, he said a joke, and somebody pulled a gun on him. So I'm like, Chris,
a lot
you got
better.
Slapped. Walk away and call it a win.
Guy's got an orange chin. But here's what I didn't get into this. A lot of comics, what used to be, we send videotapes out. A lot of comics do TikToks now. And that's kind of what you're doing right now, actually.
Yeah, I've been monkeying around with it.
How many TikToks have you done?
Oh, probably at this point, it could be 150.
Well, we're going to look at them right now. Let's play one of those TikToks right now and see what it is.
Outrageous Rocking on stages, spreading like COVID. Contagious, think I heard it everywhere. Everybody play this. Do it, could be advantageous. Very wise, sagacious. I beg your pardon, but I really gotta say this. You don't like Boomer? That's ages. Go back to bed, cause you don't know what day it is. Good gracious, I hate to waste this. I gotta leave you now, cause that's the way it is. Ow!
Boomer rocks. That was pretty good. You're a Jay-Z. You're Eminem. I don't know what you call old people when they rap, but you're that.
I wouldn't know about that.
I like the way you had the thing right in your, because I would have swallowed it actually. I always eat those little packages and the beef jerky, but
well,
Boomer.
that's one of the things that you know, when you record any kind of a video, especially something like that, the TikTok actually suggests using an earpiece to improve the quality.
They do all that, do they?
Yeah.
Do you do that on your cell phone?
Do I do that on my cell? Yeah. I actually use my cell phone almost exclusively for TikToks.
Oh wow! How long did that take to make? How many?
Oh my God! It takes a lot of takes for me.
Well, you are a content provider, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they call a creator or a provider?
Well, you know, they use a lot of words to make you feel better, but very few of them are earners.
Well, no. Do you can you make money off of TikTok?
Oh, absolutely.
How?
If you have enough followers, you can probably get people to subscribe. But
I subscribe, and I'm not paying you a damn thing.
No. But I mean, I'm talking about. All right, I get it. We're talking about people with
money,
hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Once people know that there are 500,000 people that are going to watch you or more, which
so then they advertise. So then they might product placement. You might have their can of soda or their salsa or something like that.
That's when you move into the category of influencer.
And then they start sending you free stuff.
Yeah, and you know, you're influencing people with money to put money into you.
Well, it's funny. So I mean, if that's the case, you're influencer. You know, you may when you have like a can of Ensure in your maybe some fiber pills or something like that. Catheter.
Well, yeah. You know, there's well, you know, and it's like it's a mentality. Now I'm an older guy messing in a kid's game, but there are people that want to become TikTok famous, and to be TikTok famous, you really need easily, let's call it 75,000 followers at minimum.
May I ask how many followers you have?
Yeah, I'm gonna get 14,000.
14,000?
Yeah, that makes me TikTok. Let's not completely ignore them.
Now, are all your followers from our lovely market here, our Televida market in Kansas City?
No, that's the beauty of TikTok. I mean, I have people all over the country that you know are interested in what I'm doing.
How'd they find you?
I put the videos out and it gets posted to what they call their page.
Their algorithm, right?
Yeah.
So basically it looked for another old guy that likes comedy, and that's how you found me, even though we knew each other.
It doesn't match you like that, though. You know, there are so many little facets to how they match you and how the algorithm works. But I have very young followers. I probably have a lot more young followers than old, but that may also be because I'm a lot older than everybody else on TikTok.
How big do you think the Hispanic TikTok community is in Kansas City?
That is a very good question. And I think if we keep following Televida, we're going to find out.
We could get them all together. You know, we could do a show just on Hispanic TikTokers here in Kansas City.
That would be awesome.
That's right.
That would be awesome.
It could come on after the last show. No, it can't come on after the last show because this is the last show. This closes everything, right? It's like Sam Kinison at the Comedy Store, right? Sam Kinison was the last comic every night at the Comedy Store. You know why? Because nobody wanted to follow him.
It's up to you, Latinos in Kansas City.
So you're old, you say, and I'm saying this because I'm old. Have you noticed getting old? Oh, I mean, any telltale signs you know you're getting old?
Oh my God. Well, you know, let's assume this is a family-oriented show. So we're not going to get into anything too graphic. But I'll tell you what. The sexiest thing that can happen to me is when I wake up and nothing hurts.
There you
That's
go.
about as hot as it gets. You wake up and you're like, who's your daddy now, plantar fasciitis?
It's weird because, when we were young, as a couple, you spend all this time, taking each other's clothes off. Now I'm at the age where me and my wife help put each other's clothes on. That's how you know you're starting to get there. And I notice this too when I go out like on the street there and I see that little, I got to get all the way across, right? It's just like 40 seconds and it's like a shot clock. It's like an NBA shot clock. I gotta take that last step and be on the other side. It's like, that's a challenge.
Absolutely.
I can make it.
And then there's, I'll tell you what, we're both lucky.
Yes.
In that we still have hair.
That's right.
And it's great. And, and they have an entire industry based on changing that appearance. And there's a product
just
which
for
I
men?
won't, well,
we shouldn't have said it.
I won't give them a freebie,
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, one of them promises to gradually get rid of the gray. But at my age, I don't know if I have time to sit around and wait for gradually. I need the instant gratification, So that's I gotta get the spray stuff.
And I was thinking about that too because I got this package that says this is time sensitive. It's like we're all time sensitive.
Exactly.
The more time it takes, the more sensitive we get at this age.
That is exactly right.
I know I'm old because you're old when you fall down and you're around your friends and nobody laughs. That's the tip, right? Nobody laughs. Sketcher comes off, goes across the room. But what I want to talk to you about is that the entertainment scene in Kansas City. We've both done a lot of comedy clubs. We're blessed in Kansas City in the community to have at least 2 comedy clubs that I know about. There's the Comedy Club of Kansas City,
right
out south. There's the Improv up north, and then there's the place where we like to go up north to go to the Groundhog Theater, right?
Absolutely,
which is a place where you did an Alzheimer's benefit show there, didn't you?
Absolutely, with David Scott.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that one too this time around.
Really?
It was David Scott, Mike Ciccone, Dave Caius, and everything like that.
That's correct.
I like that place. But the great thing about comedy is you can do it anywhere.
Pretty much. And if they don't have clubs, we will.
Yeah, they don't have clubs and one-nighters and everything like that. That's how we got started, just in these little one-nighters. That's why, given light of all this kind of Chris Rock stuff, that's why we're sensitive. I don't know, have you ever had anything thrown at you? I mean, I've had chicken fingers. I've had, seriously, I've had.
You know what? I have to say, I do not. And even though I consider some of my material fairly controversial, I'm loud and I don't ask questions. And that is a real recipe for not allowing people to get involved.
Oh, you don't give them the pause to jump in.
Exactly.
That's true. If you keep on going, if this is a monologue, it's hard for them to jump in, right?
Absolutely.
Whatever you said that might have insulted them, right, is already gone.
And I'm going to say this. Quite a few people said that the meanest thing that they could ever have done to Chris Rock or any other comedian is not laugh. And you know that to be a fact, Elliot.
That's true.
Because it doesn't matter. If we could be in a room killing.
It hurts.
If there's 2 people on the side, like,
I'm worried about those
to them.
Yeah.
We're just like, I don't care about them. Why aren't you laughing?
That's exactly it. You know what the meanest thing you can do to Michael Jackson is what you did on that TikTok. Let's should I call it a Michael Jackson TikTok?
Why not?
All right, let's see his Michael Jackson TikTok.
It happens sooner than later, but my question to you is, who would you want to see play Michael Jackson?
That's easy. Me. Did I get it?
So that wasn't a glove. I mean, that was supposed to be what was that? A yard glove?
It was a winter.
What are you, MacGyver? You're just grabbing whatever you have in your house?
Pretty much. Listen, I was in my Christmas pajamas for it. I don't think I went for costume.
Well, you didn't do a bad Michael Jackson. Matter of fact, I think we want to play one more. Is it okay, Televida? We're going to play one more. Your Big Boys Dance with the Big Boys or whatever.
Oh, we can do that. We can do the Bamba.
Let's do the Bamba. We're going to do one more real quick back to back.
You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get the coffee drink with the top cup. Wait, you can see how you sing go. How you sing go.
You're not old. Look, I saw the way you were moving and bending down and doing all that stuff. You get around pretty good. You got some hops, brother.
Oh, you got to be kidding me, man. That's why I don't do
What,
yoga.
you lay in an ice bath after
That's
that?
why I don't do yoga, my friend, because if I get into one of those positions, that's how I'm getting buried.
Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't want to tell her you before you were a stand-up comedian, you were a chef. So just tell me about your favorite thing about the culinary scene in Kansas City.
You know what? That is a huge topic because Kansas City is actually.
You're saying this is a chef or
yes,
not? Put your Bourdain hat on and tell me about Kansas City.
As a dyed-in-the-wool foodie, my wife and I are both big-time foodies, and Kansas City is experiencing a boom in culinary enterprises. I mean, there are so many good restaurants out. Unfortunately, I think it suffers from small market.
Envy? What do you mean?
I don't know. I think there's just so many places that you can sustain.
Mm-hmm.
In a bigger city, you know, you can keep going forever. But
you can have a place that sells empanadas, but
right.
you can't just do empanadas in Kansas City. We're not big enough.
Well, in Kansas City, I think there's a niche for fine dining, but it's narrow. You can't have 50 places that offer fine dining, and I think that there are at least 40 that are trying. Mm-hmm. So the market gets crowded out a lot quicker. Not going to get crowded out for barbecue because that's what we're
That's
known
what we
for.
do. That's what we do.
But there's so much good food in Kansas City. And what I've found is even if there's a cuisine that is limited here in Kansas City, you will find one place that has the best. When I first moved here, I said, all I need is one good Chinese restaurant. That's all. I don't need a lot, just one. And my wife had a bad experience with a Chinese restaurant, so she wasn't jazzed about it. But we ended up going to bowling, and I don't mind pitching it,
Yeah, it's a good place.
Because, bowling was...
I had it last night.
It's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Everything on their menu is perfect. But I'll tell you what was the biggest culture
I just
shock.
ordered the MSG. I don't even get any food. I just
Now, here's the difference. In New York, we have Chinese restaurants. In Kansas City, there are Chinese restaurants. But in Kansas City, you can have a Chinese restaurant with a black waitress. And I swear to God, that I've never seen before. Ever seen before. Now, in New York, you sometimes get a peek into the back kitchen, and I have seen Mexican cooks. But I have never seen an ethnic waiter.
No, it's a first. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, part of what we're going to learn on the last show on Televida is everything about Kansas City, by the way. Kansas City comics like you, Kansas City TikTokers like you in this beautiful backdrop of Kansas City. So thank you, Rod Reyes, for being the first guest on the last show. We'll see you next week.
On Televida!
Televida! I forgot.